Hello guys, hope you had a good new year. Right, so today's video that I want to do is about these two brands of pellets, the Marksman pellets and the SMK Spitfire new style. So if you don't know, because I didn't know up until yesterday, they've actually changed the design slightly of the SMK Spitfires, so we want to have a look at that. Okay, so I purposely brought these two cheap tins of pellets for a reason. Alright, because what I want to do is I want to see if washing pellets and applying Napier pellet power lube works. Because according to Napier, this power pellet lube improves accuracy, it cleans, it protects from corrosion, increases velocity, easy to use, and it's economical, right? And apparently it gives you up to 50% better accuracy. Now, could try them with a pellet like this, like the JSP's exact jumbos, but I don't really see the point in that because these pellets already are a decent pellet. We know this, right? So I thought it's better to get a cheap pellet, you know, not such a quality pellet compared to the JSBs or to say H&M Field Target trophies, and to see if we wash them and apply that lube to it, if we can actually improve the accuracy. So before I wash them, which I will do a video on with me washing the pellets, I just want to go through them and just have a look at them basically, and have a look at how they are before they're washed. Okay, and I'll be doing the test tomorrow with these two rifles. My Corral MPO2, we're trying it with that, and my more budget CO2 rifle, the TH78D. Okay, so at least we've got two different styles of rifle, one being a PCP, one being a CO2, and two different style of barrels to see if it actually does change anything. Alright, more of that tomorrow. So first, let's have a look at the Marksman pellets. So they come in a tin of 500. On Amazon, they cost roughly around between £9 and £10. However, I do believe that if you actually buy them from a retail shop, they're probably half the price of that. For some strange reason, I don't know what it is with Amazon and eBay, they sell the Marksmans and Spitfires for near enough double the price than what they actually are in the shops, unfortunately. But they're still fairly cheap compared to, say, your JSB Exacts or your Field Target trophies. So anyway, going back to these ones, they come in a metal tin of 500. It has Marksman on the top of it. With a picture of the pellet, 5.5, made in Birmingham, England, and number 2 on the side. So I imagine that this is their number 2 brand of pellet. So they probably do different types of pellets, like pointed pellets and stuff like that, and maybe they're number 1s or so. Okay. It is quite a decent tin. It's one of the tins with the actual screw lids, not the pull lids like on the JSBs and that, because they can be a bit tricky to get off sometimes. They're annoying. I do find this quite amusing actually, that with a lot of the cheaper pellets, you actually get better tins. So you get the actual screw lids on, which are a lot easier to take on and off. Unlike with, say, your JSB tins, which you have to pull them off. But it can be a bit awkward sometimes to pull this lid off. Okay. So it comes with a threaded tin basically, the Marksman's, alright? As you can see there. Alright. Okay, so what we actually have now, yeah, is the actual pellets inside the tin. First impressions of the pellets is they're very dirty. They don't look too clean at all. They've definitely not been washed by the factory, that's for sure. They're very, very dirty. And I've had a look through a few of them. And I wouldn't say they're as bad as the SMK Spitfires, the old style SMK Spitfires, with the inconsistency of the skirts of the pellets, i.e. them being all dented up and stuff like that. These are not all perfectly round, but from what I've seen in the tin, they're not as bad as the old SMKs where you're getting like totally flat ones and stuff like that. Okay, these are a little bit better. However, you can blatantly see that these are quite a cheap looking pellet. They're not polished or anything like that. They look rather dirty. It looks like you've got some form of corrosion on them because it's got a load of white stuff all over it. Basically, they just don't look like a quality pellet. But like I said before, I wanted a pellet like this on purpose. Okay, so we can actually see if the Pre-lube works. So if I put it in the tin, maybe you'll be able to see it a little bit better like that. Okay, so as you can see here, here's your pellet if the camera will focus. Alright, so that's the top down view of it. Put it on a side view. Oh, sorry, rolling around all over the place. So as you can see there with the pellet, it's kind of a bit like a flathead pellet, but it's not. It's got a slight dome to it, just a very, very slight dome. So it's kind of in between a flathead and a domed pellet, and it has rifling on the side of the skirts. Okay, which I noticed that a lot of the cheaper branded pellets, for some strange reason, have that rifling. I suppose they think it improves accuracy. I don't know about that. Let you be the judge of that. Okay, so that's the side of the pellet. The bottom of the pellet is, there you go, it's just, as you can see inside there. Okay, it's just a normal pellet. Alright. So, like we said, we can see that they're not a great pellet. You can see that they look cheap. From looking at the pellets myself, they're not too bad with the consistency of the actual moulding of the pellet. They're not great, but I have seen worse. Okay, I've seen a lot worse actually than these. But hang on, I'll show you. Give us 2 seconds. I will show you. Right, so I'm back, and basically I want to show you these pellets, the BSA Elite pellets. Now, I love the actual BSA rifles. In fact, I'm going to be getting a BSA Scorpion at the end of this month, alright, in 2.2. But their pellets, I really do not like. Now, just want to show you something, because these are a little bit more expensive than these ones, and these were in 177 as well. The actual consistency of these pellets, yes, they do look better, but the actual consistency of the skirts of the pellets, I found, are a lot worse than the consistency of these pellets. So yes, these do look a lot dirtier and a lot cheaper, but they do seem to actually be formed a little bit better than, say, the BSA Elites. I'm not a massive fan of these pellets, to be honest with you. The only reason why I bought these is because I wanted it for a 177 break barrel a couple of weeks ago, and these were the ones that I could get sooner rather than later. So that's the only reason why I got these, because I don't particularly like them. Alright. The same with these ones. I've only bought these to do this test that I want to do with the Napier pellet oil and the washing. I usually don't buy pellets like this or the Spitfires. Okay. So let's have a look at the Spitfires. Same again. The Spitfires in 22 caliber. They come in a tin of 500, but I did buy a sample pack of 250. Okay. So they come in a nice tin, a screw tin, a fancy tin as well. It has the Spitfire logo on the front of it, which is the actual same logo that would have been on the World War II fighter Spitfire. on the wings and stuff and that to indicate it was Royal Air Force. Okay, if you didn't know that, now you do. All right, hence why it's got that, because they're called Spitfires, yeah. Right, so if you have a look at these pellets, now I've only ever had one tin of Spitfires before because I don't tend to buy cheap pellets. All right, now if you look at this pellet, oh, if I'm getting in camera, sorry guys, right. If you look at this pellet now, this pellet looks a lot different to the old Spitfires, if I remember correctly. The old Spitfires looked very much like these ones, i.e. the quality of them, the dirtiness of the lead, the inconsistency and stuff like that. They looked very much like these, very, very cheap. However, these ones that I've got look like they're a lot more cleaner. And it looks like the design has changed as well. The design of these pellets look very much like the JSB Diablos. Now, if I get a JSB Diablo and put it side to side, you'll be able to see. Now, the JSB Diablos are a lot better quality than these Spitfires, that's for sure. However, I'm just showing that they seem to have gone for the same style of pellet, Diablo pellet, as the JSBs. Okay, so if you look there, you can see they're very similar in design. They're very similar in shape, and they're very similar in width and length. Okay, so they have changed them. I don't know if this makes them any better. I've not had that much experience with Spitfires, apart from I know that they're not exactly the best quality pellets in the world, and they're renowned for being cheap. Okay, but that's why I actually got the Spitfires in the first place, because I wanted to do the test with the Spitfire pellets with Napier oil. And then I found out, oh, actually, these don't look as bad as what they used to. So then I had a look for these ones, found these, and decided to use the Marksman ones instead as well, because they do look like they're a worse quality pellet. All right. I did find, though, that the consistency of the skirts on the SMK ones, the ones that I have, are not great. They're not terrible. They're better than what they used to be. If you look at the old videos of SMK Spitfires and stuff, I think some guy called Weapons and stuff does a couple of videos with the Spitfires, and if you have a look at his videos, you will see that the consistency of the pellets are a lot worse than what they are now. So SMK has really upped their game with these pellets. I still wouldn't say that they were top quality pellets, but I wouldn't say that they were as bad as the Marksman pellets. So we're going to have to wait until tomorrow until I do the shooting test to actually see if these are better than the Marksman pellets. But just by going off by looks, and that they do look better. Okay. I will say one thing though. I don't know for a fact with the guy that I brought these off. I think the guy's called Hazelmare off eBay. I don't know if he's washed these and lubed them before he sent me them, because it does. They do feel, the actual pellets itself feels like there's a lube on them. Yeah, they feel like they're lubed. And they have kind of a distinct smell to them, which smell very similar to the H&N, not the H&N, the Webley Aquapels that I have. They have the Napier pellet oil on them, which basically are H&N Sport Field Target Trophy pellets that have got Napier gun oil on them. Okay, so I don't know if they've come from the factory like that, or if the guy that I bought them off from eBay has done that already before he sent me the sample pack of 250. Okay, I bought a few pellet sample packs of him. He's a good guy to do business with. Quick delivery, reasonable prices, and you get basically what you say you're going to get. You know, so yeah. So basically, that's the Marksman pellets and the SMK Spitfire pellets. Okay, so what I want to do now is let's just compare these pellets to some other brand of pellets. Okay, so what I want to show now is the H&N Excite Hammer pellets. Now these pellets are kind of like a mid-tier pellet, I would say. They're not cheap, but they're not massively expensive either. A tin of 250 pellets will cost you around about £6. on Amazon or eBay, so you probably get them a little bit cheaper actually in the shops, probably about £5 or £10, I reckon. But they're actually not bad pellets. I've been shooting quite a few of them out of my Crow MP02, and they seem to be doing quite well. These are going to be my, how can I put it, my cheaper pellets for the back garden. Instead of shooting all my JSB pellets and field target trophy pellets in a 10-metre back garden, I'm going to start using these, and then the other pellets I will use when I actually get out for further ranges like 20-30 metres, etc, etc. Alright, but these are going to be my go-to plinking pellet. Alright, and as you can see, the quality of them are quite nice actually. They look a bit to me like, if I remember correctly, RWS Super Domes, I think they're called. I had a tin of them a few years back, and they look very similar to me as that. With the domed pellet and the rifled skirting. All right. But what I want to do is just compare, just show you the difference basically between a mid-tier style pellet and the cheap pellets. All right, and there you go. You can quite clearly see the difference in quality there with just by the lead. You know, that looks a lot more cleaner, a lot more brighter. It just looks better. It looks better formed. Well, this one looks dirty, basically. It doesn't look like as much care and attention has been taken to the pellets, all right? Now, if we compare that to a JSB, you know, obviously these are your top pellets. Yeah, everyone knows that. Your JSPs are your good pellets, same as like your air arms and stuff like that. But there you go. You can massively tell the difference there between quality of pellets. All right. And then the same with the H&N Hornets. You can really see the difference in the quality of the pellets, but I suppose you get what you pay for, don't you? You know, you're looking at between £13 and £15 for like JSB pellets, maybe sometimes a little bit more. And the same with the H&Ns, you're looking at between about £12 and £13 for some of them as well. So if we compare the Spitfires to the H&N Excites hammers, you can see the difference there. I wouldn't say the quality massively stands out too differently on these two pellets, to be honest with you, but from what I can actually see from the tins and just going through them, trust me, these ones are better. Yeah, the H&N Excites are better. They're just better formed. I've not found really any inconsistencies with the H&N Excite pellets. They're a pretty decent pellet. You know, they just come in a tin of 250, and they cost about £5 for a tin of 250. Between £5 and £6. So you're looking at probably for the H&N Excites about £12 for 500. Okay, so they are quite a decent pellet, but for the fact that you can get them in 250 for about £6, and there are a little bit of inconsistencies to them, not much, but a little bit. They are kind of a mid-tier pellet. Right, now if we put them against the JSPs, you can see the JSB lead's just a lot better. You know, the JSB lead is cleaner. The consistency of the actual pellet and the form of the pellets are better. You know, pretty much the same as what I said for the Marksman ones, really, and the same with the H&Ns. You can see the H&N pellets are a little bit shorter. They got more of a like a head to them, shall we say, more of a dome to them. But then again, these pellets are better as well than the Spitfires in quality control, which I mean. I can't tell you if they're more accurate yet because I haven't shot these Spitfires, but I'm assuming, like what most people are probably assuming if they're watching this video, that yeah, the H&N pellets and stuff like that are gonna be a lot more accurate than these two. But however, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these pellets downstairs, and these ones I'm going to wash them. I'll do a separate video on that of me washing them and lubing them and stuff like that. And then tomorrow I will shoot some of the unwashed pellets and see what groupings we get with the two rifles at 10 meters. And then I will shoot the decent pellets, not the decent, I shouldn't really say decent pellets, the more expensive brand pellets, shoot them and see what groupings we get with them, and then we'll put the budget pellets through the rifles, but where they've been cleaned and lubed. Okay, and see what results we can get with them, and see basically if we can turn a rather cheap pellet into a little bit of a better pellet, you know. So it'd be interesting to see if that happens. All right, I'll be looking forward to do that. So thank you for watching, and have a good day. Goodbye.